As claimed by Tompkins, Campbell and Green 2012, it was believed that prior to the 1970s, students were only to be formally instructed how to read and write once they arrived into grade 1 at Australian primary schools. As researched by the International Reading Association and the National Association for the Education of Young Children, many teaching methods at this time used outdated literacy development practices, such as extensive whole group discussions and drill and repetitive exercises when teaching children how to write. These activities, however, were shown to be less effective for primary age school children when compared to those students who were engaged in meaningful academic experiences that build upon prior learning. From the research by McGee and Riggels and Morrow and Tracy, as stated by Tompkins et al. 2012, literacy learning should be directed from the child's point of view, incorporating cultural and social aspects of literacy and combining children's experiences with reading and writing activities. As described by Clay in Tompkins et al. 2012, by the time children arrive at school, they already have an understanding of reading and writing and that they are used for a variety of purposes, such as reading the newspaper to obtain information or writing letters to friends. Although the ability to read and write develops more intensely from age 8 and onwards, developing and fostering literacy development in the early years is essential for children to become fluent contributors to a literate society. This is supported by the Department of Education Western Australia 2013, where it is claimed that there is no one method to use in teaching students to be confident, lifelong writers. Demonstrating and explaining what good writers do and to provide opportunities for authentic writing experiences, however, ensures that students learn to write independently and effectively. As explained by Dorfman and Capelli 2007, using such activities as mentor text applies scaffolding to the students by modelling a particular sentence structure or the use of words to set the mood. These types of texts show the students what kind of writers they can become and awaken their imagination. Tompkins et al. 2012 explains that students move through stages of writing development, commencing at the emergent stage where they develop basic concepts about print and learn the alphabet. They then move to the beginning stage where spelling is increased and there is use of punctuation, through to the fluent stage where there is an automatic recognition and decoding of high-frequency words and an understanding of multi-paragraph configurations. To understand the English words and their written forms, students must first understand the alphabet and the relationship that each letter has with their sounds. Pinnell and Fountas in Tompkins et al. 2012 describe learning alphabet concepts as of students obtaining their letter knowledge. This is achieved by understanding the formation of each letter in both upper and lower case, the use of the letter in certain words, and the sound the letter represents in both isolated circumstances or in combination with other letters. A variety of meaningful activities should be provided in order to learn the alphabet, such as singing the ABC song or using magnetic letters. The UK Literacy Association 2013 states that handwriting is understanding the alphabet, using correct spelling and grammar, and combining this with fine motor skills to become fluent in expressing ideas. As explained by Schickendas and Cusberg in Tompkins et al. 2012, children first use scribbles to represent their writing. Over time, they then scribble from left to right and can reread their writing immediately after writing to retell their story. As they become more proficient, children then learn about the writing process and understand that their compositions are not complete after their first draft. Tompkins et al. 2012 describes the writing process as being comprised of a rough draft and final copy with various stages of revision and editing in between. It is when students have obtained this level of writing that they become fluent. To encourage fluency, many authentic tasks should be encouraged for students to participate in, such as writing journals or creating a non-fiction article. Tompkins et al. 2012 explain assessment as immediate and ongoing feedback, which is used for the purpose of improving both teaching and learning. Teachers will use assessment results in determining the best approach to literacy learning, which incorporates meeting their students' needs, adhering to school standards, and continuously applying content from the Australian curriculum. Linking information obtained from assessments to current instructional methods ensures that teachers are constantly improving their teaching and subsequently student learning. As described by Sean in Tompkins et al. 2012, teachers can evaluate their own performances and reflect on their practices through student outcomes. Performance-based assessments, such as observation and collecting work samples, as shown by Heck and Crislip 2001, provide a more accurate description of the work being taught from the curriculum, as opposed to focusing responsibilities to just pass exams. Hughes, Johnson, Agruso, and Monrad argue in Tompkins et al. 2012 that teachers should use a combination of formal and informal assessment practices to allow fair and effective results across a differentiated classroom. This is supported by Godbout and Richard 2000 and McMillan 2007, where they identify that informal assessment, such as questioning, provides information about students' higher order thinking processes across all students, while formal assessment, such as quizzes, evaluate how much a student has learnt in one particular area only and may not show thorough understanding, especially if English is not their first language and therefore comprehension of the questions may be low. These results will focus on developing further instructional methods for teachers that are best suited for their student needs. As discussed by Fraser in McMillan 2007, classrooms that foster a positive environment and encourage learning and participation are more successful than those with negative or structured environments. Tompkins et al. 2012 describe creative approaches to teach children to read and write using authentic activities that are enjoyable and capitalise on children's interest. Such activities could include Bag a Story, which involves students selecting several items from a bag to create a story, or subject research, where students can use reference books or the internet to learn more about a particular topic. To allow students to become successful 21st century learners, they must also be involved in many forms of technologies for writing. The United Kingdom Literacy Association 2013 suggests that students use both paper-based and digital technology for creating their writing, as this assists in further comprehension of audience relationships, communication and identity concepts. The Australian Curriculum Assessment and Reporting Authority 2014 state that literacy learning involves student reading, viewing, speaking and writing a variety of print, visual and digital text for different purposes. When students obtain writing fluency, classrooms will be filled with students participating in writing workshops, organising their writing and using grammar and punctuation correctly and effectively. As explained by Tompkins et al. 2012, students are more involved in literacy, writing is more conventional and students respond to literature using detail through talking and writing. The ACARA 2014 state that students will learn to appreciate and enjoy the English language and develop a sense of power in which feelings and ideas can be conveyed when interacting with others. This contributes to the achievement of being successful communicators and informed citizens of society.